All right, good morning, everyone. Please join me in a show. Of those who encounter the power of the primal vow, not one passes by in vain. They are filled with a treasure ocean of virtues, the defiled waters of their blind passions, not separated from it. 本願力に相濡れば、虚しくすぐる人ぞなき、功徳の崩壊満ち満ちて、煩悩の俗水隔てなしと、親鸞上人高僧和さん、何万打仏何万打仏何万。So good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We have gathered to honor two remarkable women who lived in 12th century, Eshinni and then Kakushinni, whose lives quietly that shaped the Nembutsu path that we follow today. So Eshinni was our Jodo Shinshu founder, Shinran Shonin's wife, and then Kakushinni was their daughter. I grew up in a Jodo Shinshu temple family in Japan, but I never saw the memorial service dedicated to these two women. So when I learned that the Jodo Shinshu temples outside of Japan hold an Kakushinni memorial service, I felt deeply grateful. So it made me happy that our community intentionally remembers that the women who supported and then preserved our tradition. So today, I hope we can walk together through their lives and then discover how their strength, devotion, and the everyday kindness continue to support us even now. So to understand the importance of these women, I want to begin with a turning point in Shinran Shonin, our Jodo Shinshu founder's life. So Shinran Shonin entered the monastery when he was only 9 years old. So the little picture of upright, this is the picture from them. So 9 years old, and then for the next 20 years, he trained on Mount Hiei, where the discipline was extremely strict. So at that time, Mount Hiei was the heart of the Tendai school, the most powerful Buddhist tradition in Japan. At age 29, the Shinran Shonin felt that something was missing. He followed all the rules. He trained with sincerity, but inside, he still felt lost. So he wondered, is there teaching that can guide and save everyone, all people, and all living beings? What is the path that is truly meant for me? How can I live honestly and sincerely? In a book, an illustrated biography of Shinran, there is a story that describes that a part of Shinran Shonin's life. So he left the mountain and went to Rokkakudo, the small hexagonal temple in Kyoto. So this is the picture of the temple, Rokkakudo temple now. So he prayed there, he meditated, he struggled, he searched for the clarity with his whole heart. On the 95th night, he had a dream. Not a fuzzy dream, but a dream so vivid that he said it was clearer than waking life. So the voice spoke to him through the form of Prince Shotoku. Shinran Shonin understood that it was a really Kuze Kannon Bodhisattva appeared to guide him. The voice said, because of our karmic connection, if you marry in this life, I will become your wife. I will support you throughout your life. And when your life ends, I will guide you to the pure end. This dream changed Shinran Shonin's understanding of the spiritual path. He realized that wisdom and compassion can appear not only in temples or in solitude, but through the relationship we experienced every day. Not long after this dream, Shinran Shonin met Honen Shonin, the teacher who would transform his life. Honen Shonin taught that the Nembutsu is open to everyone, monks and lay people, men and women, the educated and uneducated. What mattered was sincerity, not social status. So Shinran Shonin trusted Honen Shonin deeply, and one day he asked him a personal question. Is it acceptable for someone like me to marry? At the time, monks did not marry. The question itself was shocking, but Honen Shonin answered, if marriage helps you live the Nembutsu honestly and with gratitude, then you should marry. What matters most is sincerity. This teaching opened to the new path for Shinran Shonin. It showed him that the Dharma is not about rigid rules. It is about living truthfully. In a way that allows the Nembutsu to arise naturally from the heart. And so, guided by this teaching, Shinran Shonin chose to share his life with Eshinni. In the dream, he later recalled at the Rokkakudo, he saw her as a manifestation of Kannon Bodhisattva. From that moment on, he cherished her with deep gratitude, honoring her throughout his life as someone sent to walk beside him. When we learned about these two remarkable women, there is an important historical fact we must remember. About just only 100 years ago, that something extraordinary happened. In a storage room at the Nishi Honganji, which is our headquarters in Kyoto, a bundle of old handwritten letters were discovered. Letters exchanged between Eshinni and her daughter Kakushinni. Their discovery was completely accidental. That's they said. So yet they changed how we understand the life of Shinran Shonin. Through these letters, we learn that in the later years, Eshinni lived in Echigo while Shinran Shonin stayed in Kyoto. It came from responsibility. Eshinni had strong roots in Echigo, which the place Shinran Shonin exiled when he was 30s. So her family owned land there. She likely inherited property and responsibilities. Some of her children or grandchildren may have lived there as well. So she returned to support them, to manage their properties and protect the family during a difficult time. So meanwhile, the Shinran Shonin lived simply in Kyoto with his daughter as a caretaker. He taught the Nembutsu path. He wrote many letters and treatises. He never owned a temple or even a house of his own. So tradition says he passed away in the home of his younger brother. So when we read these letters, between the mother Eshinni and then daughter Kakushinni, we begin to feel the life they shared even across the distance. That letter was filled with daily news, illness, worries, hopes, and above all, deep trust in Amida. Her work in Echigo, managing the land, supporting relatives, keeping the household, the stable, that gave Shinran Shonin the freedom to continue his teaching and writing in Kyoto. Her support was quiet and unseen, but absolutely essential. So through the handwriting of mother and daughter, we can hear their true voices. We feel their love and concern, and we see that Shinran Shonin was not a distant legend, but a real human being, that living within a real family, held together by courage, love, responsibility. So now let us turn to Kakushini, their daughter. Her way of carrying the Dharma was gentle, humble, and extremely important. After Shinran Shonin passed away, there were no Jodo Shinshu temples yet. So there was no organization, but people who loved Shinran Shonin needed a place to gather. So they came to his grave to feel close to him, to share the Nembutsu, the teaching, to support each other. And Kakushini welcomed them. She cared for the gravesite, and she protected it, and she created a safe, comforting place for people's heart. The simple gravesite later became Otani Honbyo, and then over time it grew into Honganji. So the head temple of tradition is this Nishi Honganji you will see in the picture. So Kakushini protected the place where people could return with gratitude of Nembutsu teaching. When we reflect on the lives of Eshini and Kakushini, we may think of people in our own lives who had supported you quietly, who kept your family together, who cared for you without asking for recognition, who created a safe place for you, who welcomed you when you were sad or confused. These are the Eshinis and Kakushinis in our own lives. The Nembutsu is not only chanted in temples, it is lived in daily life, in kindness, care, patience, and support. Their life shows us that compassion is already around us. Shinran Shonin taught that the Nembutsu arises from Amida's compassion, not our effort. When we feel lost like Shinran Shonin at 29, or when we carry many responsibilities like Eshini, the mother, Shinran Shonin's wife, or when we want to protect something precious like a Kakushini, the Nembutsu gently reminds us, you are already embraced, you are already supported just as you are. Compassion walks through people, through memories, through the stories we share today. So now I'd like to introduce some of the letters the mother Eshini sent to her daughter Kakushini. This is not a direct translation from the original Japanese. It has been rewritten to make it easier to read and understand in English. The first letter, the mother's everyday concerns and love. So based on the letter 6, and also several passages from multiple letters. My dear daughter, every day I think about you. I wonder how you are managing things in Kyoto. You are still young, yet you care for your father so faithfully. I am grateful for your strength. Sometimes I worry that you try too hard. Please remember to rest. Eat something warm. If things become difficult, you do not have to endure everything alone. Rely on the people around you and rely on Amida Buddha as well. Here in Echigo, I continue my daily work, caring for the fields, managing the household, and raising your nieces and nephews. Some days I feel tired. But when I say the Nembutsu Namo Amida Butsu, my heart becomes lighter. When I think of you, I feel both longing and pride. May Amida's compassion watch over you with every step. Your loving mother, Eshinni. Before we read the next letter, let me explain a bit. So, Shinran Shonin lived to the age of 90, which was extremely old for that period. So in his final days, his daughter Kakushinni saw him grow weaker and weaker. What she witnessed did not look like a calm and then dignified passing, and then it troubled her deeply. So she turned to her mother and asked if her father had truly been born into the Pure Land. So the next letter, your father has definitely reached the Pure Land. So based on Eshinni's famous passage from letter number 10. My dear daughter, there is something important I want you to know. Your father, Shinran, without any doubt, has already been welcomed into the Pure Land. He lived his life with the Nembutsu at the center of his heart. Even when his body became weak, his mind never turned away from Amida Buddha. He faced his final days with calmness and with complete trust in the vow. So please do not worry, do not feel sadness for him. His suffering has ended, and he now lives in peace within Amida's boundless light. When our own time comes, we will be reunited with him. Until then, let us continue to live with gratitude and the Nembutsu. With deep love, your mother, Eshinni. As we remember Eshinni and Kakushinni today, we return to gratitude. Their lives inspire us to care for one another. Their example helps us feel the compassion that surrounds us in each moment. I am grateful that our community can honor them in this way. And I am grateful that we can come together to remember the women who helped carry the Nembutsu path into the world with such strength, warmth, and love. So please join me in placing our hands together in 合唱。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナンマンダ仏、ナンマンダ仏、ナンマンダ仏、ナンマン